Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of Mitch's Mega Minute. It's
Mitch's
shit.
Mega
I just
Minute.
realized I had the image that I was gonna use. It's not right. Hang on. Nope. Yeah. It's a big spoiler. We're talking about fucking Naruto today.
Yeah, can I just say I'm still not used to you saying that?
What?
The mega in the Mitch's Minute. I'm still not used to you adding that to it.
Well, it's like my Shippuden. Save Point needed a different name, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll put Mega in. But hey, guys, welcome to another episode. Sorry we're a little late today. I wanted to eat some delicious ramen before we started up today.
I want ramen now. How
Yeah,
dare.
I know. Please don't play. Good. All right. Just for a second, it was like, I know. I'm the worst. I know, but. So, guys, today's episode, Nate was supposed to come on, but he's not feeling too good. We did work super hard, but not on Let's Play, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in today's episode of Channel Catch Up, because we got to talk about what's happening on the show.
Yes.
I need to get like a soundboard and like stingers and stuff, and like all this, like, I don't know. The podcast feels like sterile sometimes because I don't have like external sources of sound. But it's also because I've been using like a shit ton of sound effects the last couple days.
That's super fair.
So you guys might experience a slight slowdown on video content just for a little bit. I don't think it's going to be too extreme. I know you guys are already going through a little bit. I know that like we haven't been uploading the 2 videos a day thing, but with streaming and everything, fuck.
I assumed that was mostly because of holidays and.
Yeah, it's holidays, streaming, stuff like that. But this Friday, you guys are not going to get an episode of Pokemon. I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. Nate will be gone. He's going to a concert, and so we cannot play Pokemon. But do not fear. I will come up with something, and if I don't come up with something, then I don't. And that's the end of that. No, no. I if anything, I might play. Well, I might play Naruto. I might play Ultimate Ninja Storm. I might make you sit down with me. And
oh my gosh!
And just do Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Watch you play Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's right. So yeah, it's so much fun to just reminisce. But yeah, just this week also Persona comes back. I'm gonna be working on my own personal pet project the next couple days, so if you guys try to at me or contact me in any way, shape, or form, it might take me a while to get back to you. Just putting that out there. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the channel news this week. You guys will still get Persona
stream and the first Pokemon stream for the week.
Yes, so Tuesday and Thursday you guys will get streams. And I think I'm gonna start uploading the Sora, the Hunt Bros episodes here. Maybe not this week, but like soon.
Awesome.
The thing is, I wanted to complete Hunt Bros before we started uploading them, but the problem is that there's so many monsters to hunt that might not happen. So
I mean, we have that, and we have some of the other ones that we recorded like forever ago.
Yeah, let's not. I don't want to think about how badly Love has aged.
Oh,
I don't want to think about how 6 months have passed since we recorded Love.
Should we just like start over with them?
I will take a look at them. I will take a look at those episodes and be like, oh, or maybe have like a preface at the beginning of every episode, be like,
we did these half a year ago.
Yeah, it's a little hard. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This is not episode 51. Is it episode 51? Is it episode 52? I feel like it's
52.
I think it's 52.
Oh, I don't know. I don't count.
Well, time to
I can't count that high. You know that.
I know.
Oh.
I'm learning so much about everyone lately.
Amanda can't count very high.
Yeah. I thought you were.
That's about it.
I thought you were a fellow Asian. I thought that was the thing.
I am, but I'm like one of those bad ones. One of the ones who's just bad at it.
Oh, I see.
It's because I'm half Korean.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Fuck! God damn it! I have not had a cough today, so that's the problem. So like we were doing voice lines earlier, and I haven't coughed. I didn't cough anywhere between the time we stopped recording and the time we started the podcast. I was like clear during Monster Hunter and everything. It's only when I think it's only after like I start up a show, when I start up a stream where I have like where things are on the line.
Yeah, when you actually have to use your.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get on to the next. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next thing. Hey, what's up, Boruto? I need to explain what happened.
Yeah, let's get into this motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was this. Over the break, during Thanksgiving, or the day before, that Wednesday, I had purchased Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 for my Switch because it was on sale for $10, and 3 to me is like my favorite. It's my favorite one. 2 is really good too, though. No, but 3 is really good. And I was playing that with my future brother-in-law, and we couldn't put it down. And I was showing Tabby like different cutscenes and stuff from it, and I'm like, man, I was really into Naruto. And then I remember that like my old username on YouTube was 8th Kazakage, which is a dumb. So people used to ask me why it was 8th.
Yeah, I have been wondering that. Why 8th? Aren't they only on like the 5th?
Yeah, Gaara's the 5th one. 8th was supposed to be a fun reference to my favorite organization member, Axel, who is number 8. So, yeah, I'm a cryptid bitch like that.
You're so sneaky.
That's right.
I had no idea.
Like a rogue, like a high charisma rogue who has no dexterity. I hate those players so much.
Or much similarly like a ninja.
God damn it.
That was a bad joke. It's fine. You don't have to.
That's fine. So when I was so we're going through, we're playing the game. I'm having a good time, and the thing about Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 specifically is that you can get characters just by playing the game. So like you can earn points, you can earn money in the game, and if you amass certain amounts, you can unlock certain characters. And so I haven't even touched the story mode on my personal account. Because, I was thinking of doing it for the show, or I was thinking about playing with someone else. Like, like I wanted to show them, like, one of my favorite games. And I collected 100,000 cash in the game, which I think you earn about, like, 1,000 every time or something like that. Maybe it's more than 100,000. It's some ridiculous number. But I unlocked all the characters. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, Naruto was so cool. And I'm like, man, I'm sitting here talking to Tabby, and I'm like, man, wasn't Naruto so cool though? And like, and I'm like, remember that time? And that's how everything begins. It's right. Remember that time that Konkoro like fucking controlled 3 puppets at once, and one was a big salamander. Remember that time that like the 3rd Kazakage turned out to be Sasori's puppet and it can control magnetic sand? Remember that time that Zabuza was brought back to life and like was like, hey, why is my sword broken? And just started killing people, and you realize the power of Zabuza's sword was it takes the iron from blood to form itself?
And then there's Tabby, who's like, no.
Yeah, who's never watched Naruto, who was not interested in it. Nate's not interested in it. And like the only person that like I can like talk to about it is you.
Yeah.
because
I was hardcore into fucking Naruto for like a long time. My whole family, I plagued my entire family with fucking watching Naruto. I remember there used to be days when the entire family would sit down and watch the new episode of Naruto. That's the kind of level of weeb bullshit I'm on.
Dude, okay, so back in 8th grade, summer of 8th grade, it was my first year producing stuff on YouTube. Yeah, so it was back on my old channel, and we would spend the day recording what we thought was funny. We would put it all in iMovie. And then after that was done, we would sit down in the basement around 8 o'clock, 7 or 8, and start watching Toonami, and Naruto was around that time. And I remember the exact arc. It was post Chunin exams, going into trying to find Tsunade to be the next Hokage.
Right.
It's an arc I always forget exists because it's the arc in which Naruto learns the Rasengan.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we sat down there, and I just remember, like, prepubescent, like, three prepubescent, like, fucking nerds just fucking geeking out at, like, Naruto and thinking it's the coolest shit. And in the, what is it, the last year of, it was 2007, I think, when I started watching, because Shippuden was just coming out. And so, like, you went to websites, the pirating websites like Crunchyroll, which back in the day,
way back when it was a pirating web.
And you would download the latest episode. And I remember watching, like, for a full year, just every time an episode would come out, I'd read the manga, I would watch episodes. Anytime a video game would come out, I'd get one of those. Like, my brother and I would play those. And, like, it was just like a fucking mess. And, like, it was just, I don't know, like, it was just really, really funny. And, like, I still really love Naruto. Like, I realized that, like, over time, that never went away. I think what happened was that when the series ended, to me, that was it. That was over. And I kind of shelved it. I put it away. And that was it. But, like, I guess I wasn't really interested in Boruto. Like, I wasn't really interested in, like, getting...
Oh, I don't think a lot of people were.
It didn't really capture, like, my attention the way that Naruto did. And I was like, well, I'm not doing this then. And, like, what ended up happening is I'm playing this game, and I'm reminded by you or Tabby, I can't remember who it was, but, like, one of you mentioned that Boruto was a thing. And I'm like, that's right. This thing that's been going on for, like, 2 years now is a thing. Like, the movie came out in, like, 2016, and I didn't even catch that. Like, I have not been paying attention to, like, the world of Naruto and what happened post the Great Ninja War. And so I got in, like, we watched this hour and a half, 2 hour movie.
Just the phrase "the Great Ninja War."
It is. That's what it's called.
I know, but oh god, it radiates like nerd energy. But it is what it is called, and I totally understand. But yeah, we did end up watching the. Did you say it was 2.5 hours?
No. It's an hour and a half. It's not 2.5.
Okay, because I was like, where did I go?
No.
For 2.5 hours. I don't. Oh.
It's weird because the movie does this thing where it's trying to, I think it's trying to tell a story. We're yeah, it's trying to tell a story. No, I think it's trying to tell like a generational story. And I think the thing that kind of was interesting to me was I was getting a lot of boomer kind of like themes going on.
Oh no.
Like, so for those of you who haven't watched the movie, we are going to spoil a little bit about what it's about. So I'm not sure if anyone actually cares, or if you haven't seen it in the last 4 years, we are going to talk about the majority of it. So, you know, whatever. And I'm assuming if you're
just a heads up.
So Boruto is like Naruto did it. He at the end of Naruto, he becomes the 7th Hokage. Because Kakashi becomes the 6th and he becomes the 7th, and he's like, yeah, he's did it. He achieved his dream. He uses his shadow clones to do all sorts of stuff all across the village, and it's exhausting, but it's what he wanted. He is happy with his life. He married Hinata. He has 2 kids, one of which is a little Hinata and one of which is a little Naruto. And little Naruto's a dick.
Oh god, he's the biggest asshole. Holy shit.
So, Boruto, essentially his gimmick is he inherited, I would say this. Yeah, he inherited a lot. His powers are like, you know, they're interesting. Mm-hmm. But the thing about Boruto is that he's very cocky. He's a very cocky.
I do have a question.
What's up?
What powers?
Well, didn't he like say that like he has that wind conceal thing? Remember?
The wind conceal thing?
Yeah, with the Rasengan, the thing that would, yeah.
He didn't learn that until way later.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like he has talent. It does like I'm saying that like he has like potential. Like,
oh yeah, he has potential. I don't recall seeing him use it in the movie. I do recall seeing him cheat.
All right, we're gonna talk about that. but well, okay. But here's the thing: he's able to make a couple shadow clones, just like his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shadow clones being a technique that's kind of like an interesting one to pull off. It's very exhausting if you do it for extended periods of time, depending on how many you make. Naruto can make a shit ton of them, but it's after a lifetime of doing the technique.
Right.
So Boruto, Naruto's spoiled kind of son, hangs out with Sakura's daughter and Sakura and Sasuke's daughter Sarada, and Mitsuki, whose true heritage is a mystery up until the very last moment of the film. And that's like the new Team 7, led by the third Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru, and one of Naruto's like friends from the old days. And it's kind of a fun, like, hey, like look, this is what happened, generation stuff. And like, yes, let's be human. I did kind of fuck up and say kind of son. But that's
kind of adopted.
No. So Boruto is a very cocky individual because guess what? Of course, the child of Naruto has tons of chakra in him. He just doesn't really know how to utilize it well. He's always finding the easy way out. And there is kind of this commentary about that aspect of the film of the world kind of modernizing and becoming, that's another thing. There's a city behind the Hokage statue now. Like the whole place, like it's become modernized. It's like a big, large. It's no longer the village hidden in the leaf. It's now a huge city. So you have the old town and you have the new town. You have Ninja Science Division now. You have a metro that goes across. You have a fucking airship now that kind of like a blimp. Like you have like a bunch of the stuff that's happened in the 13 years since Naruto ended. 13 years, which is the weird, and they have Game Boy Advance, which is I can't even begin to like question it, but they have tons of stuff. And there is kind of this ongoing theme of like, hey, the world you inherited like is modern, new. It's life is much easier than in the olden days, to the point where like when Boruto goes through the Chunin exam, they no longer do it in the forest of death. It feels almost it feels a lot less dangerous than it
God
used
forbid
to.
We want 12-year-olds to kill themselves and each other.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the world is peaceful. We no longer have the warring factions. We no longer have this edge against each other. Essentially, the 5 Kages come together and they're like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. This new generation of Kages is like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do our best. So it's peacetime, essentially. That's what it boils down to. And in this peacetime, things are not nearly as bad as they used to be. I think I'm sure in the anime they probably abolished that whole thing with the village hidden in the mists, like only one person can graduate rule.
Yeah, I would certainly fucking hope so, right?
Oh, so like it's like a whole thing where like it's like a whole thing in which the world they inherited was much easier than the world that we as fans have experienced them going through. So like they go to a McDonald's. Like
oh my god.
Like
I forgot about the McDonald's.
Boruto is sitting there playing on his Game Boy, his little ninja Game Boy, at the McDonald's with Shikamaru's kid and I think like Ino's son.
Yeah.
And like they're hanging out playing the game, and it's a definite change of pace to what we're used to in the world of Naruto. So for fans who are still in here for some reason who aren't fans of Naruto, I'll explain a little bit about kind of the standard Naruto adventure. So while there was things like VHS tapes and like security cameras every now and then kind of like thrown a bit,
I love Lesbi Hime's comment of Ninja McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm loving it. But the thing is that shut up. So the thing is that you'd have some level of technology. So like, for example, there was like in the first Naruto movie, which I know is not canon, but it's a good example of like how far the world kind of goes. There is kind of there's trains in the land of ice. They have security cameras. I think in the samurai places, like in later on, like in the Kage Summit arc, there is like some levels of technology. It's just with the existence of chakra and magic and shit like that. Well, magic is it doesn't matter. The point is that with that existence, there's not really an emphasis on it. With the emphasis more being on the fact that you have to be ready for combat. You have to have like these, you have to have stuff ready. So in times of peace, in the last 13 years or so, since Naruto ended, they always leave it very vague. They don't tell you exactly how many years it's been. But based on how old Boruto and the rest of his friends are, you can kind of assume that it's been about 12 to 13, maybe even 15 years since the end of Naruto. So during that modernization, it's peacetime, so of course everything's built up. There is an emphasis less on ninjutsu, on magic, on that kind of stuff, on taijutsu, and these traditions that they're trying to hold up don't really apply to the next generation, or at least that's how Boruto sees it. Boruto is living a life in which everything's kind of handed to him in the sense of like, it's the Hokage son, And not only that, but he's the son, not only the son of the Hokage, he's the grandson of a different Hokage. So one of the lines that I thought was really interesting is that Naruto makes a comment when he's talking to Sasuke in his office about like how like Boruto's clothes are always clean. And it's something that I never really thought about, but Naruto always like came out looking like a fucking like used rag.
Oh my god.
At the end of like training and shit. Like he was dirty, beaten, and like bruised, but like that's the thing. Like the whole part of like learning the Rasengan was he spent like days trying to get that ball to pop, And and his son, and he's kind of disappointed because his son doesn't feel the same way. His son isn't a hard worker. He wants the easy way out. And one of I wouldn't call him a villain. He's just an annoying piece of shit. There's another character in this movie who's a scientist who's like, hey, Boruto, I'm going to give you a device that we're testing out right now. And the idea is that we seal ninjutsu into into a tiny little scroll. And you can use, like, we've always had scrolls before for summoning stuff. But
right.
This will summon specific techniques, so you can pull out this shit whenever you want. The only thing I could compare it to is an alchemist in Final Fantasy X, where you can produce spells, like through items and stuff, but they're they're like only a fixed amount, and they're not like edited whatsoever. So like they'll always do like 250 damage of a specific element type, rather than like, let's say, someone who's casting it naturally and can add their modifiers and stats to it.
Right.
So Boruto takes the cheating machine and kind of cheats his way through the standard Naruto fanfare of the Chunin exams. And it's out. The movie kind of has this idea of like, you're not working hard, you're not earning it, and for some reason in my mind I'm like, that feels like a very much like a millennial versus boomer mentality. Like, maybe not even boomer, but like, where like the older generation doesn't feel that the newer generation works as hard, and that's kind of the theme almost of this film, where it's like, you're not learning, you're not developing these skills, you're going to someone else to pick up these abilities and stuff when like Naruto and all these characters we didn't have, which almost is weird, because something that is it's like, Boruto, you have to earn these skills. All right, how can you do all the stuff you can do, Dad? I inherited it through nine-tailed fox, Steven.
Well, not all of it.
Yeah, I know, not all. It's just, I'm just joking. It's not like,
I know, but it is. I mean, there's definitely not going to be shit that Boruto can do, but according to some rumors, apparently there's going to be shit that his daughter can do.
There was a video that I saw that was just like, Boruto has surpassed Naruto, Yeah. Yeah, like I guess that's the trick.
So the interesting thing that I noticed is that they treated these tiny scrolls that had all of these like separate jutsus in them. So any single scroll, it just pops out in your hand and you can do the jutsu. Doesn't matter what it is, you can do it. Even if it's like a secret family technique, someone puts it in the scroll, you can do it. And what ended up happening is that Boruto goes to essentially what is almost feeling like an allegory for a drug dealer. He straight up meets him in like a back alleyway, fucking to hook him up and like the whole 9 yards. And he's like, oh, well, you know, being a young kid's real stressful. I get it. I want these. Just take these and all your problems go away.
He also that scientist also edited Boruto's game so that he had cheated and like got everything.
Yeah.
He didn't learn anything. That Boruto essentially is playing the game with cheat codes, and he's not developing the skills. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. It's like playing a game with cheat codes and never developing any of the skills, never developing any of the things that would make you actually good at the game. And then when you don't have those cheat codes anymore, you suck shit.
Yeah. And yes, he is. But I mean, they're not handing him like actual drugs. They're just like these powers that he doesn't have to work for. And they're not even using like his chakra or his energy to actually use them. It's whose ever energy was already put into that scroll. So he doesn't even have to use any energy to fucking do them. He just does them. He just pops it into his hand and, oh, there we go. I summoned water. Oh, there we go. I summoned fire. Look at all the shit I can do now. Like, there was no effort on his end.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help that. So the lesson of the movie at the end of the day is because guess what, guys? The big bad guys from like the very beginning of the movie show up like maybe like near like the third act, like the beginning of the end of the second act, and they're like, "Hi, Naruto and friends, we are bad guys who are from the same tribe that Kaguya was, the final boss of the original series. And we're here to fuck up your day, steal your chakra, because we consume it like candies." It's very clearly an analogy for like what Boruto's been up to, was just cheating. And
yeah.
And it's like, we're gonna just take all your chakra and eat it. And then they start doing shit. Fucking Naruto takes the full brunt of a blow to protect his son. And only in that moment does Boruto realize that like, holy shit, Dad, you do actually care about me. Because that's a whole...
Oh, yeah. That's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah. It's just the whole... Dad doesn't love me because Dad's never around.
Because... Dad's always working.
Oh, you sent a shadow clone to say hi. Fucking... Remember... And then Hinata's just like, but remember, kid... Fucking your dad didn't have his dad around, so maybe you should just be happy about that, huh?
Oh god, his fucking response of, well, he must be so lucky then to never have the joy of having parents. He straight up is just like, I wish I was an orphan. Whoa. First off, you might be mad at your dad. Fucked up thing to say to your mom, who hasn't done shit to you.
Oh, that's when Hinata should have activated the gentle fist. Wham! No.
Right? It was such a fucked up thing to say to his mom, you know? And it's a fucked up thing to say about people who just never got to have parents, because that's a thing. If you've never watched Naruto didn't have either of his parents and grew up literally entirely alone. The government felt bad, and he had a stupid tiny apartment that was broken half of the time. He lived off a fucking cup of noodles because it was cheap, and he had to pay for his own food, and he was doing all of this before he was 12. And there's his fucking child going like, "Oh, lucky him."
It's fucked up, but like they do have like something that I actually did really enjoy about the movie, like because we're talking about it and we're making it sound like it's the worst thing in the world, but I did enjoy the movie a lot. One of the things that I actually really liked was the fact that Naruto becomes Hokage, gets everything he ever wanted, has a loving wife and like 2 kids, and he's still like a super awkward dad because he didn't have a dad and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him because throughout the entirety of the movie, he has like dark circles underneath his, and he's surrounded by paperwork, and there's already like 100 different shadow clones running around working and helping little old ladies carry their bags and just doing shit he really doesn't have to, and he's just busting ass constantly running a fucking city that's literally tripled in size in essentially a decade, a little over a decade. And his son's like, I can't believe like you couldn't give me a pep talk in person. I know you're literally bound almost by blood to your fucking desk and you hate it there, but rude.
Yeah, and the worst fucking part about Boruto being like, and that I hate the people who are like, no, Naruto is the bad dad. Fuck you. You're telling me that no one in this world has ever sat Boruto down and be like, hey, your dad's Ninja Jesus. I'm not sure if you know this, but your dad, like, it's like, what? Because he says something along the lines of like, what is my dad like? What has my dad ever done? Like, anyone could be Hokage. Like, what has my dad ever done? And it's just like, do you not understand that like the important, like, and I know it sounds like a fan thing to say of being like, oh, do you not get like why original Naruto is so important? But like if you look at it like historically speaking, what Naruto ended up really doing to the ninja world, he's fucking Ninja Jesus. He fucking like, he not only did he like free all the tailed beasts, stop Kaguya from fucking destroying the world and sealing her in the moon. Like, not only did he do all this shit, he also, like,
oh god. And then the line of, I don't want to be the next Hokage because being the Hokage means you're a burden on all of those around you. And he's, like, saying this around his mom and around his sister. And he, at some point, even mentions this to his friend, Sarada, who wants to be Hokage. Because she's legitimately like, I want to be Hokage because I want to be better than my dad. And I want to help people. And I want to be good to people. And there he is like, oh, it's just a burden. You're a burden to those around you. And I was like, please, can she just like live? And who the she is could either be like Hinata or his little sister or Sarada. Holy shit. That's such a fucked up thing to say.
I also didn't like the fact that like Boruto's like mad. He's like, you better show up for the birthday because fucking like you won't treat my little sister that way. I'm like, you're not. It didn't feel like he was being protective. It just felt like it was just another outlet for Boruto to just hate his dad.
Oh yeah. And like then he gets super pissed off at his dad because he sends like a shadow clone to go be there. Keep in mind, the shadow clone pops out of existence and he gets mad, obviously, and everybody gets sad because it's not really him. Meanwhile, his dad's fallen over in the fucking office due to...
Ugh. Anyways.
He literally exhausted himself, even trying to show up.
Mind you, there is good stuff about this movie. I cannot emphasize enough that I did actually like this movie. It's just Boruto is an insufferable fuck for what feels like the first half of the movie.
Oh yeah. But
Um,
good news. Um Shigadai is a good boy.
Come on, Boruto does learn his lesson at the end of the day. He develops an appreciation towards his dad and the old ninja way. And even though he doesn't want to be Hokage, he does actually want to do something very nice. He wants, in the way that Sarada wants to be Hokage, he wants to end up like Sasuke, being kind of this ninja that like helps and supports the Hokage from outside of the shadows, kind of like Gabriel Reyes, Jack Morrison kind of thing from Overwatch.
Actually, Mirai, Asuma's kid, I found out, is Naruto's bodyguard.
Really?
Yeah, Shikamaru ended up training her because that's Asuma's kid, and of course he did, and so he trained her up to be Naruto's bodyguard.
That's pretty neat, actually.
It is really neat, and also she's only.
Oh.
Yeah. So it has been exactly 13 years. I found out. I was looking it up.
Oh damn! All right. Well, anyways, this movie is really good. Like, even if like, I do want to show someone who hasn't watched Naruto and only has like some knowledge just based off of exposure. So like, you know, Tabby or Nate.
Tabby.
Like I want to show someone else like this movie and be like, check this out. Tell me what you think. Like, I want to know what you think, because obviously our opinions are seeped in the lore and everything around it. So it's kind of hard to like get a good idea of like, was this good? Was this bad? I think it's really good, but I think it's really good because it was just really good to see Naruto and the gang, and even though Boruto's a shit tier kid, I ended up liking him a lot. I love how he developed. I love the fact that Sasuke became his master. I like the fact that like there is like this sense of like a fun future ahead of them, and I will not watch the show.
Oh, no, I don't think so either. I can't devote myself to that.
As much as I like this movie, I will admit that one of the things that I really enjoyed about the movie was the fact that the movie ends on a sense of finality. Like, you get this idea where those characters are going to go in the future. And when I heard that Kishimoto isn't really involved that much in the production of Boruto, the show, I decided that I'm not going to watch it, because half of the reason why I watched this was because Kishimoto was involved. And I don't see myself watching something that he is not producing, because it's not just about the world they exist in. It's about the fact that Naruto had really rigid rules about how jutsus and all this stuff worked. And based on what you've told me specifically, it sounds like they kind of throw a little bit of that out the window. So
yeah. So I don't remember the name of the person who took over, but it's a totally different writer now. And what he's decided is like, oh, well, all of these family techniques are strong, but also they have weaknesses. And I don't really like that. So, new rule, no rules. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, they can all do whatever the fuck they want. Their parents totally trained them to just work around their shit. Like, Shikadai, for instance, because he's the one I know the most about, simply because Shikamaru was my favorite. Shikadai was trained by Tamari and Mira and Shikamaru and Gara, essentially, and a bunch of other fucking people, and knows some really strong shit that took people years and years and years to learn, and he's already got them mastered by 12, and he is the number one prodigy in the entire Nara family, including Shikamaru, so he's already smarter than him, apparently, somehow. And apparently, from what I've seen, he also has Tamari's wind ability, and because she trained him, he's also gotten past a lot of the weaknesses with the Nara family's stuff. Like, oh, you can only extend your shadow so far, and then you have to jump and use other people's and other things' shadow to extend. No, doesn't need that anymore. He can extend it to a huge amount. Like even in the movie, you know the huge circle dome he made?
Yeah.
He shouldn't be able to do that. It should be lines going out and him
Yeah.
grabbing onto them.
Yeah, that was weird cuz even I was like that's a little much.
Yeah. But apparently that's Tamari's fault. And also, he can use the wind scythe without her fan. He doesn't need it.
That's bullshit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like saying I can play guitar strings without the rest of the guitar, and I just have the strings and I like, stretch them out and like I try to play them. Like,
right? And then he also knows sealing. The only thing that can break out of that is the nine-tailed fox. You know, strongest fucking demon in their entire fucking world.
it's okay. It's okay. I think what we got to learn. I think we need to just take a step away from this and end this segment. It's been 40 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the rest of Boruto, or I don't know if I'm gonna get into that. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I will say this much: if you guys, obviously, if this has caught your, I know we didn't do a very good job at saying any nice things about it, but here's the thing: it is, it is still very nice. It's still very well animated. The characters are still lovable, even if Boruto's a shit sometimes, and there is still a sense of adventure, even though the adventure is kind of more grounded in more of a domestic way. There is kind of this nice development that happens with it. So I recommend it. It's definitely just it was a fun anime adventure to go on. Let's go talk about something else. Pokemon continues to be one of the best games I played this year. God damn it! I hate when you have something in your throat.
Oh yeah.
But Pokemon is still one of the best games I'm playing this year. I'm trying to breed an Appleton that like has good IVs and EVs and nature. I'm doing Battle Tower right now and I'm having a lot of trouble with it. Even with my breeded Pokemon, I just feel like I'm missing something. So like I don't want to look up the meta. I told Sword earlier today that I don't want to look up like anything for the meta. I just want to make my own Pokemon. So I'm hoping that Appleton will help, but like I think Steelix is really good. Like I did this Steelix that is like really solid, but I fucked up. He doesn't have Sturdy. I think I'm gonna try to buy one of those little ability capsules to switch to Sturdy. But like I'm having just some difficulties in the Battle Tower, and I know it's like for some people that'll be like, oh, well, change up this or this, do this or this. You know, like these are the Pokemon that you could use for the Battle Tower. I'm like, but that's half the fun for me is trying to figure out what strategies work best for the Battle Tower. So I'm not too good at singles. I'm really good at double, but even then, oof. So anyways, Pokemon's been really, really good for me. Even though like I haven't really touched it like this week, like I ended up playing a lot today after we were done recording lines. But like beyond that, I don't know. I it's not that I don't want to play it. I think it's just more like I just haven't had the time to touch it. What about you, man?
I've only played it like a couple of times this week, mostly just because I've been busy with shit. So I'm only not even past where we got. I only just finished. Oh shit! What's her fucking name? It's not Melody. Oh no! Why do I keep wanting to call her Melody? Melanie's? Yeah, Melanie's.
Yeah.
Melanie's gym, and I only just got past that, and I did Pierce. I haven't even done Rhydon's gym yet. So I'm trying to actually catch up with us for where we are in the stream, actually. As sad as that sounds. I'm just trying to catch up. I'm just so busy. I don't want to be that busy. I want to finish playing it. But I don't know. My friends who got it apparently like he's been shiny farming.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And he recently asked me if I wanted some shinies. And if so, of what? Because he was just gonna go farm them. Because I guess he's house sitting, so he's like, I have nothing but time. I have nothing but time, and I'm just so alone in this house. Please give me something to do. And I went, oh, okay. I want a shiny Hatterene. Please and thank. Because, oh god, shiny Hatterene isn't that impressive, but I just love Hatterene so fucking much. All they did was take out the blue. They just made her white and pink. That's it. Just white and pink. So I'm like, alright. Why not?
Man. But yeah. Pokemon update. Pokemon's great. It's still good.
It's still good. I wish I was caught up. Fuck.
Yeah. But pretty much that covers that, which leads us to the last weekly thing. Mandalorian! Another... What more can we say about a show that's been knocking out of the park every fucking episode?
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's amazing. This episode, episode 4, was another fun episode. Everyone's already done their reviews on it. It felt like a western. Some people compared it to a one of the classic Ronin films. Like it just felt like a standard Drifter goes into town, helps them deal with a problem episode. And there is nothing wrong with that. I am still very adamant that I never want to see the Mandalorian's face or learn his name. I want him to just stay this Western hero that, like, in the old fashion of Clint Eastwood. And that's it. That's all I gotta say.
I never want to know what he looks like. I never want to know his fucking name. He is Mando. That's all I give a shit about, is the Mandalorian. Also, I got so fucking mad in this episode. Spoilers, sorry. I got so fucking mad when the lady tried to take his helmet off. I was like, no, bitch. I think not. I'm not gonna give up my entire fucking way of life and my religion and all of that bullshit to live on a krill farm. Eat my entire metal ass.
Well, you know, it's the peaceful life. It's the temptation of a much simpler, peaceful life, and not the life of the bounty hunter.
No, I know. And I know that's what she's meant to, like, represent. But also, it's the turning his back on his entire people. You know?
Yeah.
It's the, I think I'm done. I think I'm just done being a Korean. I want no more of it. You know what I really... Krill and krill farming. I think that's what I'll do. I'm white now. That's how it works.
That's right. Well, I mean, beyond that, I'd say the episode, like, I did... Oh, God. Was it Kara? The character's name is Kara something.
I don't remember.
But, like, it's just awesome. Just an awesome character to introduce. I'm still under the impression that the reason why we're being introduced to all these side characters, like the bounty hunting droid and the moisture farmer and Kara, is because at some point or another it's gonna be like a heist movie. He's gonna grab them all together and
fight the Imperium?
Well, maybe get back Baby Yoda if he gets stolen.
Ooh, that's true. If Baby Yoda gets hurt, I'm gonna cry.
So, yeah.
That's where I will call it with Disney. Disney, you've struck too low. This is the final blow. If you fucking kill the baby, I quit. I'm never... No, I can't go back. You've hurt me too much.
Oh my god. Anyways, guys, that ends another episode of Mitch's Mega Minute. Thank you guys so much for catching another episode. As of episode 52, this is episode 52, which means we've been doing Mitch's Minute for a solid year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
That is exactly what that means. Unfortunately, I'm sure I missed a couple weeks, but, like...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So... As of always, if there's any topics you want us to talk about on Mitch's Mega Minute, even though, like, sometimes we run out of guests, or sometimes people don't sleep, or you know, whatever, just leave it down in the comments. I love doing podcast shows, and yeah, I hope to have next week for you a little preview of what we've been working on and what we will be working on for the next week or so. Currently, I'm trying to find a new name for a different channel. Not that I'm giving up on Let's Play or anything like that. That's not what that means. It's just anyone who knows me and knows my old stuff. I used to be very production based. So like I used to do a lot of dubs and stuff like that, just like back in the day. And it's something that like I don't know. I don't have 100% pride on those shows or series or anything like that. But I did care like a lot about that, and I had a shit ton of fun when I was doing that kind of stuff, and part of me wants to kind of keep going and see what this new one's gonna be like, and you know, that's where I'm at right now, and I hopefully I'll have something. That's where I'm at right now. Stop! And, I'm trying to I'm trying to do a playback. I wanted to see the chat, and I had to open up the thing back up, and I even told it to mute the fucking ugh. Anyways, the point is, I wanted to see how many people were in the chat. That's all I wanted. Fuck. Anyways, the point is that I wanted to. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I want to kind of make productions again. I want to do dubs and comic stuff and all sorts of things. I mean, I've been talking to Gang Widow about it for a while now, and we've been wanting to do it. I know that like I've just have this drive and desire to produce again. So. You know, I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, like, Let's Play is definitely fulfilling in the idea that I get to constantly come out with you guys and play games and have fun, but much like how, I guess maybe JonTron, when he left Game Grumps, I do feel like there is, I do feel like there is a desire in me to make something a little bit more. So hopefully I'll be able to come back with you guys a little bit more with that and talk a little bit more about it next week. And I hope so much that you guys have a wonderful week. Welcome to the last month of the year. We're here at the end game. So if you guys want to support the show, we do have a coffee down below in the chat. We also have a Discord, Twitter, all that stuff, yada yada yada. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Next time.